One of the things that you might encounter when you're walking about the urban landscape in Japan, especially if you look in fields, especially behind fields, and at the borders of fields, places where things are growing. Gardens tend to occupy such things periodically as borders, but they may not be actual new stone borders. They may be something completely different. So if you look past the weeded part, past the areas where most of the activity is going on, you might find strange-looking carved rectangular stone blocks. These blocks had a purpose in old Japan. They were used as basically as pavers. For the most part around temples, you can still see them if you visit a modern temple. You can find these stone blocks that look just like this. And they've been hand-carved, and they have little chisel marks at the top that perhaps used for to prevent them from being slippery. And they were used as stepping stones along the routes in temples and shrines and the like. I've sometimes seen them as edging in such old structures as well. It seemed to be kind of the Japanese equivalent of a cinder block. You know how a cinder block has a multitude of purposes in the modern landscape environment. See those grooves across the top? These are the grooves that were probably put into place to basically give a little traction to prevent someone from falling down and being hurt if the weather was inclement and a little bit slippery. These ones are stacked up at the edge of a farmer's field. In fact, this is my family's field, and they have been laying there. These are just a few that stick out of the ground. There may be some that are buried underneath the ground, so in effect they're like time machines. They were quite large, actually. You can, it'd be quite a feat to pick one of these up by yourself. You can see here's the size-wise compared to my hand. You can see how the marks on it are as well. More are scattered here and there. Some of them are peeking out. A few of them are broken. Typically, I find these quite intact. They seem to be able to survive the centuries. After all, they're solid stone for the most part. That's what they do. So here's a little piece of land where I found these, just peeking up and poking about and laying around. You might not even notice that they were there if you were just walking by casually and wasn't thinking about it, but indeed, there they are. Just another piece of the landscape and a bit of forgotten part of the landscape scene in Japan. Keep your eyes open when you're walking. Maybe you'll spot some yourself, and look for them in temples as well. Take care, everybody.